And hello, welcome to Solo Playthroughs. We have a very, very anticipated episode of Solo Playthroughs tonight because, boy, have I been asked more times than I can remember if I ever played this game multi-handed solo. The answer to that was a resounding no, but the Reddit community for Spirit Island I find that community really, really friendly and so into this game, and they have a challenge every month. I believe they put one up, or every week, every other week. I'm not exactly sure. It's pretty often. And I did say to someone on that thread that I would do one of the challenges, and I thought it would be a great way for me to put a two-handed playthrough of Spirit Island on my channel. This one came along. I think they have two different types every week. I think it's weekly now that I'm thinking about it. And thinking about it more, I should say. And this one just seemed perfect. It's two of the original spirits. I wanted to start going through the original spirits again. They are both low complexity spirits, so I think that will help with the time of this video. And I thought it'd be a really good, nice, hard challenge for me that maybe I can do something cool with on this channel. So the challenge is we have a fragment map. So a fragment map doesn't look like the way you might normally think a two-player map of Spirit Island should look. We have one ocean pointing down. We'll say that's to the south. We have another ocean pointing over to, we'll say if this is the south, that would be the east, right? We have shadows on board A, we have lightning on board D, and we are against level 5 England. Oh, the joys can I tell you. So I have tried this multiple times. I have beaten it exactly 0 times. Let me check my math. Yep, it's 0. So maybe we can pull off a first for this channel, but I feel pretty strong about the strategy I've been able to cobble together with these two spirits. Remember, I am not a multi-handed player, so this was a nice challenge for me. Do I like multi-handed more than true solo? I assure you I do not. It is still a little bit more upkeep than I want to do in my personal gaming. However, again, for a change of pace, I'm sure it won't be the last time I play two spirits. It's not going to be the norm. I can assure you of that. I just like, again, true solo and how it speaks to me because, as we all have figured out by now, I am a weirdo. All right, so we have our board. I've done all the setup that we need on the board. Again, we have our 6 Dahan on board A. We have our 6 Dahan on board D. We have our disease. We have our beast. We have our 2 cities and 2 towns. And we have the presence like so. We have a sacred place for our friend Shadows in the highest numbered jungle and a 1 presence in land number 5. And we have a sacred place for our friend Lightning in the highest numbered sands. So I'm going to move this board over here. And we're going to do some shuffling. Now I know there's some shadows coming from my back. Again, the whole setup to try to get it's a bigger board, a lot more going on. So I'm raising my camera and just to try to get the lighting right so you can see my cards and kind of follow along a little bit more. I think we'll just have to deal with those shadows, and I'll just try to get my giant meat hooks out of the way as much as I can. All right, so those are the major powers I just shuffled. I'm shuffling up my minor powers, and then again we just have to do the event deck, we have to do the fear cards, and then set the invader deck, and last but not least our good old blight card, which we will probably need at some point. Again, the joys of England. Shadows and lightning again, lightning to me is like a pretty middle of the road true solo spirit. Shadows is one of the lower. I do like the aspect cards that come with Jagged Earth. I find they make shadows a wee bit better, but these are far from two, spirits that I would trust in a true solo game against many adversaries, right? I mean, you're going to have a higher variance win-loss rate. Now, there are people that are way better than me at this game and are way more experienced with both of these spirits, and I'm sure found this particular challenge to be 0 problem. That wasn't me. So, as I've said from the beginning, if you're coming here to watch the best Spirit Island player in the world, you should find another channel. If you just want to see someone who loves this game, who might have a thing or two to show you that you would find entertaining, then you are in the right place. Welcome to Solo Playthroughs. Right. So we're getting the Invader deck set up. Invader deck is pretty the standard. Take one out of each invader level or invader stage card. So we got rid of a stage 3 card, getting a stage 2 card, and we get rid of one stage 1 card. We have the extra build, as the Kindred Spirit podcast calls it, the stupid build. I'm a fan of the name. For those who are not, I found out about the podcast from a commenter on one of my videos. Very fun podcast. I think it's John and I can't remember the other guy's name. I'll put it in the comments, or I won't. Or someone else put it in the comments, please. Because, yeah, they do some fun stuff. Been fun catching up on some of their episodes. And Stupid Build is great. Bring it on. Kindred Spirit Podcast, found wherever you find your podcast. Cool. I'm going to roll this. It is again, there's 16 cards. I rolled a d20, so I'm just going to take card number 12. So that's 16, 15, 14, 13. And card number 12 is our Healthy Island card. That's going to have 5 blight, which I have set aside. So I never showed this on the channel. This is a card that came with Jagged Earth. It's like a reminder. Some adversaries are harder to kill. Why is this out? Well, we're playing level 5 England. Those adversaries are harder to kill. The towns and the cities have +1 health each. No bueno. So that's 4 damage now to kill a city and 3 damage now to kill a town. Obviously, that could be augmented by other steps, but that is that. And I am only playing a level 4. I had the fun-filled joy of an option to play on level. I'm only playing on level 5. I had the fun-filled joy of an option to play on level 6. I think that was for expert. Yeah, I will stick with advanced. That's fine. It's much more where I want to be. Level 6 is crazy. There's an additional fear in the fear pool, and then if you don't resolve a fear card at any point, you perform an additional build from the high immigration tile. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking to do with this 2 spirit playthrough here today. All right, that's fine. Cool. So what are we gonna do? Well, everything is set up. That's exciting. We're going to do our initial explore, and our initial explore is into mountains. The joys of mountains. So we get an explorer here, an explorer here, we get an explorer here, and an explorer there. Cool. What am I going to do? Well, my first turn, I'm going to add a presence for shadows. I'm going to add a presence from the bottom track, which is going to give me 2 card plays, and I'm going to add this presence. Where do I want to add this presence? I'm going to add it into land number 1. I'll probably sacrifice this presence as we go, but I think that's going to be... I'd like to have a way where I can gather more Dahan into there than just the 2 that are adjacent, but we'll see. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get 3 energy. Because ideally, if I can get multiple Dahan in there, I can... play the card from shadows to prevent damage to Dahan, and I can wipe out some things in land number 1 on the next turn when the silly Englishmen ravage in land 1. All right, what am I going to do for lightning? Well, lightning, I'm just going to put 2 presents on the board with this first turn and kind of do one of the lightning tricks where I'm basically going to be doing I'm going to underplay my hand this turn to give me more options and more effective options. Next turn, I'm going to put a sacred site in land number 2. I know I say sacred place sometimes. I'm working to correct it. Baby steps, kids. So that is now a sacred site in land number 2. And I am going to, again, took her from the top. So I'm going to get 2 energy from the presence track. Great. I'm going to play 1 card. What will that card be? I'm going to play Lightning's Boon, which is going to allow me to give Shadows the ability to play 2 cards, 2 slow cards fast. All right, this is a good one. I'm going to put this on this railing here off camera just to make some room. All right, Shadows. I'm going to have 2 cards. I know I can make them both fast if they are slow. So I'm not going to play Concealing Shadows. Right now, what I want to do is make sure I only play one of these 2 fire cards, right? It doesn't make sense to play both of them. So how do I want to do this? I could play Mantle of Dread. Nah. I'm going to play Favors Call Due because I know I want to get a bunch of Dahan into there as much as possible this turn. It'll probably only be 2, which at least should be able to wipe out that city, which can be pretty nice. And I'm going to play Crops, Wither, and Fade as my other card. What I want to do is I want to prevent the build in 6, and then this would be a nice way for me to do just that, right? So I have Mantle of Dread and Concealing Shadows available to me next turn, and we're going to put that off screen. That costs 1, that costs 1. So I have Darkness Swallows the Unwary. That gives me the first level of that. I can target a land 1 away from where I have a sacred site. I have a sacred site there, so I'm going to target that, and I'm going to gather the Explorer into land number 8. Cool. Now I'm going to do Crops, Wither, and Fade. I'm going to target a land where I have presence. I'm going to generate 2 fear, and I'm going to turn this town into an Explorer, and then again that will prevent a build on land number 6. I don't see any need to do Favors Called Due just yet. So yeah, there's really no benefit for doing that now. So I'm going to hold off on that, and then we can go to the, so again, Lightning's Boon. It gave him the ability to do up to 2 slow powers fast. He only did 1, so that's fine. And then we're going to go to the Invader Phase. Invader Phase, flipping the event card over, would be Sacred Sites under threat. Well, we don't. Again, Jagged Earth rules, we're not going to do anything with that card, and now we do the Invader steps. Step 1 is going to be a build. We're going to build in mountains. We're going to get a town here, a town in 8. We get a town in 1. And again, you take a look before. Now, again, level, what is it? Level 1 England. If you have 2 adjacent cities or towns, I would have also had a build in 6, but you evaluate that before the step begins. So at this point, we don't have to worry about that, but we do put another town into land number 1. Explore step, exploring into sands. Now, the cool thing about turning that town into an explorer means we have no source of towns anywhere near 7. So we don't explore into 7, but we do explore into 4. We do explore into 7 on Lightning's board, on board D. And we do get an explorer into land 4 on Shadow's board. Great. I have 1 more power. We're going to do Favors Called Due. I'm going to gather 1 away from where I have presence. I'm going to gather up to 4 into land 1, and that will be all she wrote. Cool. We're going to, time's going to pass. So this is going to get discarded. These get discarded. And now we go back to growth. What am I going to do? I'm going to gain a power card. Now shadows, both these spirits, those innate powers are everything, and they're hard to unlock those higher levels, but those higher levels really, really open this game up. So elements are king in what cards that we are going to take. So I'm going to get a minor power for shadows, and I'm looking for moon, fire combos, but 1 moon will be enough to make me happy. Ooh, that's nice. I can defend 4 there. Interesting. It's attacking 6. So he has a moon, which makes me automatically interested. Carapace land, target a land with beast. The power, if you target land with, Carapace land, fast power, range 0, but if you target land with beast, it becomes range 1, defend 3. If you have 2 earth, defend +3. Unlikely to have 2 earth. There we go. Sunset's fire flows across the land. So 1 fear, +1 damage, has to be 1 away from wherever sacred site. And remember, the shadows rules, I can always pay 1 to extend this range out up to wherever there's Dahan, and we will probably do that at some point to get all the way across the board, but that's fine. And I can pay another energy to deal 1 damage in an adjacent land. Now, picking off explorers against England because of their build rules isn't as important as it is with some of the adversaries, but that still can come in handy. And then finally, our final option is Razor Sharp Growth. It has a moon, which I like, fast power, range 0, target land cannot have blight, destroy an explorer and a Dahan, add a wild, defend 2. Really tempted by that defend 4, but I don't know how I turn away that fire. That moon fire combo makes me all sorts of happy. So we're going to do that. Sunset's fire flows across the land. Man, can I even... I wonder if I can even prevent a build this turn. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Do not. So I'm like not even... I'm wondering if I should really even be worried about Darkness Swallows the Unwary. It's unlikely I prevent the build here. It's unlikely I prevent the build there. Welcome to England. I mean, the only other thing I'm looking about is that defend 4, which is super nice. Oh, I could do that. I take the defend 4. I get this explorer out, then I don't have to worry about a blight, and I keep that presence. All right, that's fine. We're gonna rethink myself. Overruled, Greg. Overruled. Great. So I take favor of the sun and star lit dark. It's a little risky, so I'm not gonna play Concealing Shadows, which was my original plan. I'm gonna try to defend this. So I'm gonna take that. Let me get these off the board. I'll do my growth over here, then I'll come back to my card plays. I have to put a presence on the board. I'm gonna put a presence in land 5. And I'm going to then, what am I going to do? These are the questions I ask myself. Then I'm going to get 1 energy from the presence track. I'll do that right now, even though it's technically not growth, because otherwise I will forget, and forgetting's bad. Great. Growth option for lightning. I'm adding a presence. I'm going to add a presence 1 away from where I have presence. I will add it in land 5. Give me some potential access into what's going on over here. I'm going to gain 3 energy because of this growth. Oh, invader card should have been best last turn. My bad. So I get 3 energy from that. I'm going to get 2 energy from the presence track. Look at me, Mr. Moneybags. Actually, turn that into a 3 here. And I'm going to play my last 3 cards as lightning. All right, 0, 3, 2. Great. Have the energy for that, and it unlocks the top level of Thundering Destruction, which allows me to destroy a town. Cool. So the 2 cards that I'm going to play for Shadows Flicker like Flames are Favor of the Sun and Starlit Dark, Mantle of Dread, and that gives me level 1 of Darkness Swallows the Unwary. I'm not going to say bop after every sentence, I promise. It's tempting though. So I'm going to 1 away from where I have a sacred site. I'm going to defend 4 in land number 1. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. I have so many issues. And then I'm going to push a blight. There is no blight there. I'm going to then do Darkness Swallows the Unwary. I'm going to target a land. What land do I want to target? Ravage. 1 damage each invader. Probably should wipe out these explorers while I have the chance. Question is, where the heck do I put this guy? I'm going to target land number 4. So maybe I wipe out these invaders. Yeah, it's fine. Land number 4. I'm going to gather this explorer. And that fast power is done. Great. Now, remember, lightning. So all these are slow powers, including my innate. However, I have 1, 2, 3 air. I think I call it sky sometimes. I've been corrected. It is air. I have 3 air elements. So again, sacred sites, air element. Got it. So I get to do 3 of these fast. I'm going to do Raging Storm fast. I'm going to wipe out both of these. I could do that slow too. What's the point? What is the point? This might be better. I'm going to do Shatter Homesteads fast. 2 away from where I have a sacred site. I generate a fear off the top. I'm going to destroy a town. I get another fear. Thunder Destruction. I'm going to make that fast. I'm going to destroy a town. I get another fear. So I can do 1 more power fast. Raging Storm. I'm not going to be able to prevent a build there anyway, because that's just not how that's going to work. So because it's going to be adjacent to at least 2 structures, just the way that works. I really don't want to build a city here. I don't see a world where I prevent that. If I had Mantle of Dread, if I could make that fast, but again, I already used Lightning's Boon last turn, but if I could make Mantle of Dread fast, I would have an option to kind of push and only get a town there instead of a city, but it wasn't meant to be. I'm going to want to use Harbingers of the Lightning to get 4 in here, but generating a fear. I feel like I'm light on fear. Wow, because I didn't do that. Yeah. So there's some things I normally do that I can get the 8 fear pretty easily. Oh, plus favors called due. If you get to a place where you can gather more Dahan than there are invaders, you get 3 fear from that. So that's why I feel like I'm light, because again, I wasn't able to do that in land number 1. I could have comboed like Harbingers of the Lightning with that last turn, but again, I thought it was more important to do what I did because I prevented a build already, which made me happy. So rambling. Do I want to do any of this fast? No? Maybe? No? I don't know. Yeah, I do. I'm going to push up to 2 of these, and I'm going to generate a fear off the top because of that. So I have Raging Storm, which is slow, and I have... That's still going to build, yeah. And I have Mantle of Dread, which is also slow. Event card. We actually are carrying this one out. Missionaries arrive. Oh, why? Why, missionaries? Why do you arrive? Yikes. I can't possibly do Curse the Tongues of the Foreigners. I can only get up to 5. I could forget that power. It's just something I'm not excited to do. Anyway, missionaries arrive. They teach and spread lessons of a foreign god. You may ignore their contact with the Dahan. For each board, discard the top minor power. If it has a sun, push 1 explorer from a land with Dahan. Otherwise, you place 1 Dahan with a town. Wow. That's really bad. After resolving this, return to the event deck onto the top 2. Well, shoot. That would have destroyed that too. Awesome. Well, here goes nothing. So we're gonna discard the top power. I'll do it for shadows first. We'll just go left to right. Does it have a sun? It does. Ooh, call to ferocity would have been kind of nice. I get to push 1 explorer from a land with Dahan. I cannot. There are no explorers in lands with Dahan, but I'm fine. Doesn't mean I have to do the otherwise. It just means it has a sun. If there was a explorer in the land with Dahan, I could have pushed it, but alas, there was not. All right, we're gonna do board D. Does it have a sun? Oh, 2 for 2. That's nice. That makes me feel it might be my day. It might be my again. I've never beaten this. I've tried several times. Please. All right, we're going to push this. I'm going to push it into land number... Because I don't want to push this guy. There's really no point to do that. I'll push this guy into land number 2. Sure. I mean, unless I haven't isolated this. I mean, this stupid build I'm going to build. Oh, I don't want to push that guy because he's going to die during the Ravage. Oh, which is, by the way, this guy's ravaging too. I should have pushed this into here. That would have been smarter. Now that kind of puts me in a pickle with... I have to move 1 of these explorers. Great. These guys are both going to die during a ravage. I'm going to push this guy. So again, just to explain, when I did Arbingers of the Lightning, I pushed 2 Dahan from 1 into 7. Instead, looking at that, because it's ravaging in 8, I pushed 1 Dahan into 7, 1 Dahan into 8. All right, now I get to push this explorer somewhere because of missionaries arrive. Those 2 are going to die. I let them die. I'm going to push this into land number 4 because I'm planning to probably do the Raging Storm there anyway. I'll wipe out all 3 of those suckers. All right, cool. Prey on the Unwary. Each beast destroys an explorer. Add an explorer to a beast, to 1 explorer to a land without 1. Again, I have no explorers on lands with beast. And then because I ignored the missionaries' contact with the Dahan, those silly missionaries, I have to put this card under the top 2 cards. So I know this is coming up in 3 turns. And will I have enough energy to deal with it then? Will I be looking to get rid of favor of the sun and starlit dark at that point? That's going to be a tough question. Great, so that is the event phase. I have no Earn Fear cards, so we're going to do the Invader Steps. We're doing a build in land number 5 on board D. We're doing a build, nope, lied. We did builds there last turn. We're ravaging in land number 5, ravaging land number 8. Again, the Dahan in both those lands retaliate and wipe the explorers out. There's nothing to ravage in land 6. Land 1, we're defended 4. So Dahan injured everywhere, but they all survive. Retaliating 4. That is enough to wipe out that city. That gives us our first fear card, kids. All right, things are looking up. So now what are we doing? We're building. We don't build in 7. We get a town in 4. We get a city in 7. It's like a town city. We get a town in... whatever that is down there, 4. Great. Explore step. The last level 1 in this game is going to go to a whole level of bananas when we get to the escalations. England is rough, but we are going to now explore into land 3, explore into land 1, explore into land 2, and we do have a source into land 5. Yowza. Okay. So invader cards are going to advance. Stupid build is in play next turn. This might build a city, which is super rough. Avoiding cities on the coast is like so important right now. I can get this guy out of there next turn. Oh. Maybe. Maybe. I might reclaim cards a turn earlier than I normally do with shadows here. I don't see how. Oh, I could say. Never mind. I won't do that. But I can't count on Darkness Swallows the Unwary because I might not have that ability. Had I not pushed that, if I only played that because I was worried about, again, getting this down to 5 damage, so I had to defend 4, but again, the event card, the beast would have destroyed that explorer, but had I known, hindsight would have been 2020. There, sure, 2020. Oh man, it's gonna build in 5 anyway, because I have a town. Well, I'm probably gonna have to destroy that town in the fast phase. Yikes, none of this is... There's no obvious way of using Mantle of Dread. I think I get a town. I think I make this not be a city next turn. The question is, where do I put this? I don't want to put it into 2. Put it in 6 to swipe it out that way. But then that puts a source. But frankly, I have sources. I have explorers all over the place there anyway. Oh, if I put it here, it's interesting. I put it here. It's got some potential. It's got some potential there for sure. I can probably gather 4 in. See if I can get rid of that explorer as a fast action. I'd have to pull the perfect card though to be able to get Darkness Swallows the Unwary. That's fine. I'm going to Mantle of Dread. I'm going to target, so target any spirit. I'm going to target myself. Now notice, Mantle of Dread, you can't use Mantle of Dread with the special rule Shadows of Dahan. Because there is no range on this card, so it's like target any spirit. I need to have presence in that land. Or if I was allowing Lightning to do it, Lightning would need to have presence in that land. So I'm going to generate 2 fear. And I'm going to push this town from 1 into 2. All right, it's always dangerous to gather too many structures together. Remember, the additional loss condition of England can creep up on you, especially when you get into these stage 2 invader cards. But I have a plan, sort of, kind of. Right. Raging Storm, I'm going to do 1 damage to each invader. And I'm going to target a land 1 away from my presence. I'm going to destroy these 3 explorers and do 1 damage to this town. It still has 2 health remaining because, again, England level 5. And that's not enough to kill it. Time's going to pass. This Dahan heals, that town healed, this Dahan heals, this Dahan heals. All this energy can go back from whence it came. And now we go to the next growth options. Cool. So my growth option with shadows, we're getting a card. I would like another moon fire combo. Like I had one last turn and I gave it up, but I think what I did was better. We'll see. Not a Moonfire combo. Haunted by Primal Memories. 1 fear. Defend 3. If beasts are present, 2 more fear. I'm going to get renewing boon. Choose a land where you and target spirit both have presence. In that land, remove a blight, and target spirit may add 1 of their destroyed presence. Not that helpful right now. Infested Aquifers. If target land has any disease, 1 damage to each invader. If target land is a mountain or a wetland, 1 fear and add 1 disease. It's not really gonna work. And then set them on an ever-twisting trail. Gather, push 1 explorer. Isolate target land. Oh, I love the isolate. But I don't think it's gonna do the trick. Yikes. Man, I could defend 3, I think that makes sense. All right, so I got to add a presence somewhere. Let me do that first. I'm going to add a presence into land. Look, the more energy I can save, the better here. So I'm going to add a presence into here. It's going to be a little sacrificial, but it will have to do. And then we're going to get 3 energy. I do not have Darkness Swallows the Unwary. And I'm going to pay for Haunted by Primal Memories. Great. I'm going to... They're both fast. Oh, never mind. So that's that. Well, before I get too much into that, let me do my growth option for lightning. I'm going to reclaim cards. I'm going to gain a power card. I am gaining a major. What? I know. Bananas. I'm going to get 1 energy and 2 energy. And we're gaining a major because honestly, I just find Raging Storm too expensive for what it is and doesn't do all that much huge and helpful against England. Especially with, it's not like I can add a Badlands and kill a town, right? I mean, at that 1 damage to invader is really, really not that helpful against this level England. I need chunk damage. So I have one option, has a fire like that. The Wounded Wild turns on its assailants. Add 2 Badlands. 2 Badlands could be nice. You have to target a land with Blight, gather up to 2 Beasts, and then 1 damage per Blight, Beast, or Wilds. If you have 2 fire, 3 earth, and 2 animals, I'm not going to have that. Then I can do 2 fear per invader destroyed, max 8. Okay, interesting. We'll see. Bargains of Power and Protection. It's kind of a non-starter. It's a cool little card. It's just not really going to work for these spirits. I'm not going to waste too much time on that. Walls of Rock and Thorn, 2 damage, defend 8. Add a Wild, isolate target land. If you have 2 earth and 2 plant, you can do +2 damage and defend +2. Add a Badlands, and finally the Jungle Hungers. All right, it is what it is. See what we can make work. I think having something that will help Blight work to our advantage is not the worst idea ever. Bye bye Raging Storm, and hello this turn. What am I trying to do? Yeah, I need to do a few things, and I need to do them fairly quickly. All right, so I'm going to play... Oh, it's such a waste of Lightning Boon. Such a waste of Lightning's Boon, but it is what it is. Yeah, I don't see how this card... So my options right now with Lightning is I play this card this turn, and these 3 cards next turn, or I play these 3 cards this turn, and I play this card next turn. And I think it just makes more sense to do what I'm doing. And there's also a chance I might reclaim again. Probably not. I really don't love that idea at all. At all. All right. 1, 2, done. Lightning's Boon. Target spirit can use up to 2 of their powers fast. Doesn't matter. He's got all fast powers anyway. Shadows does. Then I'm going to do Concealing. Shadows. 1 fear. Dahan in land number 7 on my board will not take any damage. Big fan of that. And then I'm going to generate another fear. And I'm going to defend 3 in land 4. Cool. Let's see if I can't get... Well... Yeah, I don't have a way of getting 2 Dahan in there, so... Probably not worth going too nuts with that. This is going to kill the city. They also have this. I can kill 2 towns. Yeah, let me push a Dahan into land 7. All right, again, it's pushed up to 2, but I only have the 1 here. I'm going to push a Dahan into land 7. That 8's going to be enough to wipe out both of those suckers, even with the enhanced health. And I'm going to generate a fear. That's defended. So, like, strategically, where does it make sense to kill? So, this is going to build. You know, if that's going to build, there's definitely an argument to save one of my powers until next turn. So... the problem is I might not have a Sacred Place anymore. Shoot. Well, this is going to build. So what I can do is I can use... I'll have a Sacred Place here. So I'll be able to use Thundering Destruction on that to kill that town when that builds there. which will keep that land number 3 less of a problem for me next turn. So let me do Shatter Homesteads. I generate a fear. I destroy a town, destroying the town on land 4. I generate another fear. That leaves me 1 fear away from another fear card. But I still think it makes more sense to let that that build happen this turn, and then use Thunder and Destruction on the slow power phase. All right. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, I think. Oh, that's interesting. The Wounded Wild. I might not have a Wounded Wild next turn. Yikes. I might actually be reclaiming my cards twice in a row. That's fine. Because this is, again, I add 2 Badlands, gather 2 Beasts, 1 damage per, but I have to have a target with the land with Blight, and I might only have this land with Blight, and this land will that has invaders, and it will probably be wiped out this turn. Alright, that's fine. Little reclaim loop in the middle of the game. Never hurt anybody. Well, except for all those times I did that and lost. Wow! I might lose both my sacred places. Wow. War touches the island shores. Invaders from a different faraway land assault the ones here, torching farms and bombarding cities. You may allow the attacks. Well, that if I do that, that does mean the Wounded Wild turns out as assailants. It's now all of a sudden valuable next turn. But, well, it has to have the most cities and towns. That it is land 2. I have no choice. I was wondering if I could use this on land 1, but now it's going to be land 2. Yikes. Which just means Thunder and Destruction is totally going to go to waste. So I can allow the attacks. I think I have to allow the attacks. I don't think it makes sense to not. The worst case scenario is I pick something that only does 2 damage, and which is totally useless against level 5 England. Shocker. I mean, I could spend 2 energy to prevent the attacks, but then I have to add a fear card to the top of the fear deck, and that is no bueno. Yep, I allow the attacks. Let's do it. I can push a Dahan. I can wipe that. All right, we got some options. The rest of this card is pretty solid. So I'm going to allow the attacks on land 2. I'm discarding a major power. Pyroclastic Flow. That would have been nice. That would have been really nice for lightning. Why did I not get that one? Though it does add a blight, but still, the elements are perfect. I get to do 3 damage on land 2. That destroys a town. That generates a fear. So we have that bonus going for us. That gives me another fear card. And that's going to add a blight into land 2. All right. Rock on. We're doing the same thing for land 2 on board D. All right. Grant Hatred a Ravenous Form. That would have been perfect for Shadows Flicker Like Flames. Bye-bye all the cards I want. We're doing 4 damage. We're going to kill this city. That generates 2 fear. We add a blight. Again, it's only attacking the land. You're not doing damage to the Dahan. The Dahan are basically saying, I'm not helping you. We're not going to do anything here. And then I lose myself a presence. Yikes. All my sacred places going bye-bye, which is another reason I really need to use this card next turn, because I need to get more presence on the board. All right, fine. Solved. Beasts find new homes. On each board, push a beast to an adjacent land without blight. 1 fear if invaders are present. Great. No blight in land 4. That generates a fear. And then no blight in land 5. That generates a fear. Cool. Reclaim territory. Each player may push 1 Dahan to an adjacent land, doing 1 damage there. Oh, man, it's still going to build. Oh, it's so weird. This will work well over here, though. So yeah, I'm going to push a Dahan into land 7, do a damage there, wipe out that Explorer. Thank God we're not playing against Russia. And then we're going to, I guess it would just scare it away, so it'd probably be the same thing. Then I'm going to push a Dahan. Yeah, maybe that one of the fear cards lets me remove one of these towns. So I'm going to push a Dahan into land 3, destroy that Explorer. Rock on, 2 fear cards. Make them good! Terror level 1. Each player removes 1 explorer or town from a land with beast. Hey, you ask and you shall receive. So I'm going to remove an explorer or town from land 4. And again, there's no restriction. It does not have to be different lands. Too many monsters is the card. So I can remove this explorer from land 4. Nice. Land 4 is totally wiped out. That was really nice. And then the next fear card is Spreading Timidity. Each player chooses a land to isolate. Oh, that's pretty. So we're isolating 2 lands. I'm going to isolate the lands that have 2 structures. Well, where are the builds happening? If I isolate this land, that'll prevent a build in 8. Build in 5 might still happen, or will still happen, which I'm not that upset about. And if I isolate land number 2, I prevent the build in land 1. So I basically take care of 2 of the builds that would have happened in the stupid build phase, and I prevent the build in land 5. Well, the build in land 5 wouldn't have happened anyway. Oh, wait, never mind. They're both going to be destroyed. So I don't have to worry about those buildings. So I'm going to actually isolate the buildings. I'll isolate, I mean, it could be anything. I'll isolate land 1. Because now it's not, oh, it's the stupid build. Yeah. So I'll isolate land 5. Oh, no, never mind. It's a stupid build happens before the Ravage, so I do need to worry about those buildings. England! All right, cool. So I'm going to isolate land 7, prevent the buildings in both 5 and 8. It's very, very nice. Awesome fear cards. Yay! All right, let's go on. We're going to do the invader steps. We're going to build in mountains. Not is adjacent to 2, so we get so I'm not preventing the build in 5. Sorry about that. I'm misspeaking a lot. So we do get a building in 5 because it's adjacent to 2. Not building in 8 because it's only adjacent to 1. Again, the isolation prevents adjacency. We're not building in 1 because it's adjacent to 0 because, again, the isolate prevents adjacency. And there's also nothing to build in land 6. Stupid build is done. Now we're going to go to the Ravage step. The Ravage step, we're going to, well, defended in land 4, but there is nothing there. Amazing. We're going to add a blight to land 7. Again, no damage to the Dahan, but each spirit that has presence there, their presence goes bye-bye. Then the 4 Dahan there still fight back because, again, they took no damage. They do 8 damage, 7 health worth of invaders. That's going to generate 3 fear, 2 for the city, 1 for the town. Done. We're going to Ravage in land 7, nothing there, nothing to Ravage in land 4. Build step. We are going to take the disease off of land 2 on board A. There's nothing to build on land 5 here. We're going to get a town in land 1, and we don't have to worry about the build in land 3 because it's only adjacent to 1 building. Yowza. All right, here's where it gets all sorts of fun, kids. And by all sorts of fun, I mean, ooh. All right, what are we doing? Going to jungles. So the jungles are going to, first we have the escalation. We're going to build in the land on both boards that have the most. Now, if there was no towns or cities on either of these boards, we wouldn't have to worry about it for the board that had no towns or cities, but obviously towns and cities. So we're building a town in land 2. We're building a town in land 1. So 2 on land A and 1 on land D. Great. Explore step. We're exploring into 6, exploring into 2, exploring into 3. No source of invaders into land 8. Invader cards advance. I'm going to put that here. I have no sacred site, so I cannot target a land with thundering destruction. Which, honestly, I don't think they're... The only town I potentially could have killed was the one town that was already in. No, there were no towns anywhere. Great. That's done. What are we doing now? So this is gone here. We're going to do our growth options. We're going to pick 1 for shadows. He's going to reclaim his cards. He's going to gain a power card. We're looking for moons and fire. No, we have 1 moon, but not moon and fire. We have a fire, but not a moon. Moon and fire. That's... winner, chicken dinner, I think. Yeah, I don't see how. So it's Shadows of a Burning Forest, fairly strong. Get to push an explorer in a town from a land, target 0, but again, if it has Dahan there, I can spend 1 to get there. Accelerate. Oh, that's the wrong thing. That's a terrible card for me, so I'm not going to replace it. Steam Vents. That would have been perfect for lightning. But I think this time, yeah, portent of disaster is not good enough. So this time I'm going to have to go with the elements and take this card, and then I get 3 energy from my energy track. Thank you, Shadows. All right, we're going to add 1 presence. I'm going to add 5, 3. Yeah, I wouldn't have enough. Because I was wondering if it would make sense, would I be able to have enough for 4 card plays next turn? I wouldn't. So it just makes sense to add from the top track. Does it? Does it really now? Let's be ambitious. We'll go from the bottom track. Might help us later. Cool. So go from the bottom track, even though I can't play 4 cards, I'm only playing 1 this turn, and I'm going to have to reestablish a sacred place somewhere. I'm going to reestablish a sacred place in land. Yikes. Land, yikes. Land Yikes is the official name of my land. It's ravaging there. It's so stupid. Let me rethink this. I might reclaim again. No, I can't. I won't have a freaking sacred site. Yikes. Yeah, I have to get this. I have to reestablish a sacred site. I mean, sometimes it does make sense to put 3 presence on a land just to just in case something crazy happens. But again, I reclaimed cards last turn. I didn't know what was going to really go down in land 7. So the problem is I'm going to have to use the wounded. I'm not going to have range to land 2. Yeah, I'm going to need a sacred site for next turn. So it is what it is. Sacred site and land 7. I'm going to get 3 energy and 2 energy. It's kind of the normal seesaw with lightning over here. I'm going to pay for that. And we'll see how that plays out for me. Great. So Blight, Cascade. Looking pretty certain that we're going Blighted Island here. Shadows of a Burning Forest could come in handy. Could prevent the build in 6, which makes me somewhat happy. So I just need anything with a moon. Defending 3. Defend 4 and a defend 3 are not exactly what the doctor would. Oh, I could defend 4 and push. I don't have a sacred site though. I could spend $1. Push this so it won't Blight Cascade. I still go Blighted Island though. Defend 4. I'd have to get I need to get defend 3 on the coast. And that wouldn't generate a fear either. It would mean that this is probably a card I'm throwing out. What did I took? Oh, I took that. Oh, I probably should have taken a major. No, I know I'm forgetting this. That's why. I only have 5 money as it is. 5 energy as it is. Major I don't think would have helped me. I'll get a major next turn. I think it makes some sense. So I know I'm forgetting this. So not this turn, but next turn I know that we're going to have a need to throw the sun away. So major, me saving up some money to spend the 8 to do what we're going to need to do there is going to be somewhat important. The other option though is if I play this next turn, but it won't let me to really push a blight anywhere. Will not let me push a blight anywhere. Shadows, that's too good. So I'm thinking maybe I take a sun just to throw it out because I know the missionaries are coming back next turn. Probably not. Probably not. This can come off. Stupid build is doing stupid things. That's about right. That's about right for what stupid build does. Yeah, I think we go for that. Alright. We'll defend 4. No way of gathering Dahan quickly. If I had a Sacred Site on the board, I reclaim my cards and give Shadows the ability to do things fast, which really kind of opens up Shadows a little bit for this turn, but it's not. I need cards. I need a Sacred Site before I worry about reclaiming my cards with lightning over here. So let's do it. We're gonna put a I'm gonna push this blight into land 4. It's gonna build a town there, but it's just gonna be a town. We're going to defend 4 and land 4. It's probably not going to... Oh, and I have to spend an energy to do that. Because to target this land, I don't have a sacred site adjacent, but... Oh, there's no Dahan there. There are no Dahan there. Bam. So I cannot do that. So that is utterly useless. Utterly useless. Gather with the 4. Not sure what that's going to do. Man, I'm really at the mercy of this Blighted Island card. This could be super bad. Super bad. Alright. So I'm going to spend 1 for that. We have this. I'm going to gather. That's going to build there anyway. Of course it is. So I'm going to gather this explorer out of here so it doesn't build in land 6, but the stupid build... Oh, shoot, it will build in land 6, so we're going to have this stupid... It's going to build in land 7. Man, that's bad. That is bad. And I cannot do this fast because I don't have an heir. I do not have an heir. It is what it is. I'm going to gather this guy into 5. And unless it does +1 damage, it'll be destroyed in the Ravage. A little risky, but I think it just makes sense. Try to keep this board as clean as possible. So other than that, I have no fast powers. Yeah, we're going to do the event card. Don't do it to me. Outpaced. Oh. Yikes. Humanity has always been faster than you, but the invader's terrifying speed catches you off guard. Each spirit chooses independently for each of their slow power cards. Just either play 3 energy to play the card now if I want, or I can destroy 2 presence to play the card now if I want. For each card. For each card I don't do it for, I just get the 4 money. I just get the value of the card back plus $1, plus an energy. I'm going to be able to wipe out... So I'm looking at Rage and Force. Oh, I'm ignoring Disease this invader phase. So each series, I can't use Shadow's money to pay for Wounded Wild. Doesn't work. And then, so bad. We're ignoring Disease, so this is going to build a city. But if I had 2 wilds there, I have 2 badlands there, I'm doing 1 damage per the Blight. That's there, and then I'm going to gather it up. I can gather this beast. I'm going to be doing 4 damage, which will wipe out the city. But I'm going to need a sacred site next turn. Oh, this is so bad. Outpaced is vicious. It's funny, the way these cards have worked in the cards have gotten less vicious in Branch and Claw and in Jagged Earth, but the original card, this is actually a Jagged. The cards got less vicious in Jagged Earth, but Branch and Claw, some of these cards are so bad. It just presents some really intense challenges. If I save this power and I save this power, combining these 2 things, I could do some cool things. There's no way I'm saving all 3. I don't have the presence amount or the energy. The problem that I'm running into is to save it with lightning, putting myself in a spot where I'm going to have just seriously nothing working for me next turn at all. I have to leave the sacred site, so I get rid of those 2. But then what does that get me? Well, I prevent a build there. The other option is I don't leave myself a sacred site, but then like what the heck am I doing? But the third option is I just take the whole thing back and I pocket the 5 energy, and then I can play all 4 cards next turn, which is probably the smartest play here. Because I can make it fast next turn, so really, what's the difference? What's the difference? Alright, I can't lose that much presence. It's not going to work, so I'm going to pocket this energy back, discard it, and I get +1 energy for doing that. So that gives me 7 energy. over here, and I will play all 4 cards next turn. So I'm glad I took the presence off of that. So that leaves me with a decision here. If I gather these 4, I could gather these 2. I wouldn't outnumber invaders. If I gather these 4 into here, it's nuts because I can wipe out the city, and I wish I had that defend 3, but I don't. I don't, but I would have a fear card. I can add a disease. We're ignoring disease this turn. Question is, do I just lose 2 presence, knowing I'm going to gain a presence, add a presence back next turn? I think I do. So we wipe out this city. It's ravaging 5. I can retaliate. Let's do this. I'm going to discard Shadows of a Burning Forest. You get 1 energy from that. And then, again, for this low power card, I'm going to destroy 2 presence. So this is where, like, again, it's bad luck for when this came out. Had I, like, done all my powers fast, like, it wouldn't have mattered. But, again, obviously, this was a big decision. So I'm going to destroy 2 of my presence. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of both my sacred sites. I know I'm going to be able to put 1 back on the board next turn. Alright, now I can do this power now instead of the slow power phase. I'm going to gather up to 4, 1 away from where I have presence. So I'm going to gather 4 into here. Now it doesn't trigger the 3 fear, unfortunately, because there's 4 invaders and 4 Dahan, but that's fine. Now we're going to go to the rest of the event card. So review, outpaced, lightning. I chose to discard the wounded wild turns on its assailants. I got 5 energy back, and I know I'm going to be able to play the next turn now, which is great. And then I had the 2 cards for Shadows Flicker Like Flames. 1 I discarded to get an energy. I discarded Shadows of the Burning Forest, and then 1 I got rid of 2 of my presence. So if that's tipping point, that's bad. Oh man, that's fine. If it's tipping point, I lose. It just is what it is. You cannot like tipping point proof every one of your games. There's a 1 in 16 chance that I'm toast. And then I chose to play this now because of the rest of this card. All right, Lingering Plagues. I get to add 2 disease to the board on each, so 1 disease on each board. Oh, sorry, 2 disease to the game, 1 on each board. But we're ignoring disease during builds this invader phase. I'm gonna prevent builds. It's gonna be the stupid build next turn. And it's probably more important about this build. And I'll again with England's condition, I don't know how you don't choose the one with the most cities and towns, because that additional loss is brutal. Great. So we're ignoring disease. So I'm gonna have to remind myself of that. And now we go raids and force. Each spirit chooses a different land where Dahan outnumber cities and towns. Each Dahan does 1 damage. So the 4 Dahan in land 2 are doing 4 damage. Destroys a city that generates a first fear card for this round. And I have to choose a different land. I'm going to choose... Well, this dude's going to die anyway. It doesn't matter. I can't do anything creative. Creative is not a word. I'm just going to do 1 damage to that town. So it still has 2 life, and that's fine. Going to the Earned Fear card. Explorer does not... Oh, Terror level 1. Explorer does not affect coastal lands. Oh, that could be nice. Be the coastal land card. Be the coastal land card you want to be. So we have a 25% chance of that being absolutely amazing. All right, what are we doing? Building. So, stupid build. We're going to get a town in land number 4. I feel like I need trademark Kindred Spirit podcast every time I say stupid build. We're going to get town in land 7. We're going to get town in land 4 on board A. I know I'm going right to left, just the way I had this set up. Just makes more sense. It flows better for me. Ravaging. We're going to ravage in land 1. And boom. And we're ravaging in land 5 on this board. Dahan injured, fights back. Oop. There. And now we're ravaging in land number 2. Now before I do the fight back or anything, we'll have to figure this out. So just 5 damage to the land. So that gets a blight. 5 damage to the Dahan. Again, so it has extra health, but it still only has the 2 damage, even though it has 3 health. Those 2 Dahan are dead, 1 is injured, and now we flip the Blighted Island card, and we are going to have to cascade somewhere. All right, so 3 damage per player. That's 3 damage. 3 blight per player on the Blighted Island card. It's Erosion of Will. So I'm going to put 5 blight on here. And I know that one of these is going to have to cascade. Bam. Bam. Immediately 2 fear per player. Don't mind that. So that's 4 fear. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And each spirit destroys 1 of their presence and loses 1 energy. Yikes. Alright, so we're going to lose this presence and lose an energy. And Shadows is going to lose this presence. Oh, it's so central to so many things. I don't want to lose it in 1 though. I don't want to lose it in 1, but I don't want to lose it in 8. Alright, I'm losing it in 1. I don't think I have a choice here. He loses that presence and loses an energy. Great. So I have to cascade this somewhere. I'll cascade this into 1. Remember, exploring's not affecting coastal lands. And now that happened, that was like, again, this is like it's a nesting sequence. So now we go to the Dahan fighting back. There's 2 Dahan left. They fight back. That's a total of 4 damage. It kills 1 town and an explorer. All right. Ravaging is done. Building. We're building in jungles. Disease is ignored this turn. Awesome. So we get a city and land. I mean, that's so great. City and land 2. There are 2 adjacent towns or cities. It's for land 6. We're getting a town in land 3. And we get a town in land 8. Explore. Be coastal lands once. Oh, you jerk. Oh, it's almost just as good, right? So we have the escalation. Again, disease. We ignore disease during builds this turn. This is a build. It says build on the card. So we have to get now a city and land 1. Oh, this is gross. A city and land 2. I just got rid of you. And now we do, oh, the most cities or towns. Oh, I can choose. Oh, I can choose. Oh, that's very exciting. Where do I want you? I don't need to put you in land 1, in land 2. Ooh, better. I'm going to put you in land. There's a blight there. It's fine. Land 4 still makes the most sense. And now we're going to do an explore. Explore does not affect coastal lands. So only 1 of the 4 wetlands is going to get an explorer. So that worked out pretty darn well. All right, so these all go away. We have disease everywhere. Invader cards advance. We have no slow powers. I'm going to... Time's going to pass. What needs to heal? This Dahan heals. This Dahan heals. This town heals. Okay. What are we doing? We are gaining... It makes sense for me to gain a major. Always. So we're going to gain a major, and then we're going to get myself 3 card plays. And I know that I'm probably... I have to forget that. I know it's stupid, that stupid missionary card. I should have the energy I'm going to need to make this work. So it's going to be 8 energy. I'm going to forget this turn for sure. For sure. All right, this should be fine. So, moon and fire, please. No. Accelerated rot. Irresistible call. Cleansing floods. And flow like water. Reach like air. All right, well, if one of these is like perfect for this turn, but might not be great for the next turn, then I can use it. And we can then dump it, right? I'm going to be able to do things fast. We're getting 3 energy from the presence track, right? So I know I have 7 energy. If I play this, I might not get, the innate might not be that worth it. So gather a bunch of stuff. So accelerated rot. Again, assuming I give myself the ability to do fast cards because of lightning. Cleansing Floods is interesting because then I can do 4 damage, 1 away from where I have presence in a wetland. Gonna wipe out that city. Or again, I can spend an extra energy to obviously accelerate that. Ooh, build, 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 build. Yikes. So many problems, so little time. Alright. That's not going to do anything. That's not going to do anything. So 4 damage, remove a blight, or 2 fear and 4 damage. Cleansing Floods costs 5, but I have to be 1 away from where I have presence in a wetland, but again, I can extend that. As long as there's Dahan, where I'm extending it to. Might want to wipe out that city anyway. Or I just do 4 damage, 2 away from where I have presence, which would allow me to reach to land number 1 from where I am. In land 5, which is probably smarter. I get the fear. I don't remove the blight, but don't know how I'm going to get Dahan into there. No, let me remove the blight. Let me remove the blight. Taking Cleansing Floods, I have to forget a card. I'm going to forget. That could be too good. I'm going to forget Haunted by Primal Memories. Bam. Now, I think I play Defend 4, push. Oh, that's another fear. Then I just forget both of those. Interesting. Is there something better? Is there something better? I might rethink this card play. I'm going to add this presence into land 5. I do want a Sacred Place back on the board. And that's going to cost most of my energy. So, again, I changed out of 3. That's 5. That's 1. Do not have Darkness Swallows the Unwary, but I'm probably forgetting both those cards anyway. Awesome. Let's see what's going on over here with lightning. I'm going to reclaim my cards. I'm going to gain a power card. I'm going to gain an energy here, 2 energy here. Let's see what these minors are. Rain of Blood doesn't have a fire. Treacherous Waterways does have a fire, but doesn't have a fire or air. Renewing Rain and Validnate's Hunt. We'll take Treacherous Waterways and probably not use it. Don't really like any of these. Although Remove a Blight, Renewing Rain could be useful. Just doesn't have any elements I want. Again, if I'm going Blight removal, so I only have 5 left on the card, wouldn't be the craziest idea I've ever had. But let's see how this works out. All right, so we're now going to have 4 card plays with Lightning, and Lightning is going to play 4 cards it had before. It just gained a power card. Cool. That is going to give it the ability to destroy a city with with Thundering Destruction. And I have to pay for all this. That's 4 energy, 2 energy. I have to make change. And 2 energy. Alright, so I have 3 air. I have 4 slow powers. Might make sense just to use light. Oh, I'm gonna try to lose this anyway. Yeah, it's fine. So I'm gonna give him Shadows, Flicker Light Flame has the ability to do 2 slow powers fast. It only has 1 slow power. Oh, I have 3 cards with Shadows that I can play. Oh, even better. Even better. What do you want to do, Shadows? We will make a... Oh, I'm gonna need this energy to be able to target that land. So is there a... There's this. Beautiful. Oh, that's interesting. Can make that fast, and I can push both of those suckers off. Alright, so let me think about this creatively. Harbingers of Light, Harbingers of the Lightning. I'm going to push 2 Dahan. I'm making so I have 3 air, so I can do 3 of my 4 slow powers fast. I definitely want to push a Dahan into here so I can target it with Shadows. So I'm pushing 1 into there, and I'm going to push another one into... I'll just push 2 into here. Why not? Alright, and then I'm going to get a fear because of that. Cleansing Floods. I'm going to do 4 damage. 1 away from I have a wetland. So I have presence in a wetland and land 5 on board A. I'm going to spend 1 energy to give myself range to the Again, my range can be infinite as long as there's Dahan. I just put 2 Dahan in there, so I'm going to do 4 damage here. Going to kill this city. It's 1. 1 fear, another fear. Earn fear card. And I get to remove this blight. Awesome. That will work well. So I've done one of my 2 powers fast. One of my 4 powers fast. I can do 2 more fast because I have 3 air. I'm going to, this is already fast, so this doesn't count. So the Wounded Wild turns on his assailants. I'm going to target a land with Blight, 1 away from my presence. I have presence in land 2, so that will count. I add 2 Badlands. I am going to gather up to 2 beasts. I'm going to gather 1. And then I do 1 damage per Blight, Beast, or Blight, Beast, or animal. Blight, Beast, or wilds. So I have 1 Blight, 1 Beast. That's 2 damage. The Badlands makes that 4 damage. So that destroys this city. That's 2 more fear. That's done. Now I have Thundering. Where am I building? That's not going to build. That would build. I do have this innate now because I remembered I had 3 powers, not 2. Just does make things a lot better. I mean, realistically, we're just trying to set ourselves up for a terror level victory. A terror level 3 victory here. I'm going to push. This is going to build no matter what I do. And it's going to build, city too. That's so bad. All right, I'm going to make this fast. I have to target a land with invaders. There I have presence, which is land 8. I'm going to generate 2 fear off the top. I'm going to push this town and this explorer into land A6. That's fine. All right, and now I can defend 4, 1 away from where I have a sacred place. I'm going to defend 4 in land. This will probably blight, but I can live with that. Yeah, I'm going to defend 4 in land number. Defend 4 in land number 6. And because I have 2 suns, I generate another fear off the top. So I have, I can either do Thundering Destruction fast, which would allow me to destroy a city, 1 away from where I have a sacred site, or I can destroy a town. I can destroy a town with Shatter Homesteads. I think that's going to make some sense because, again, there are going to be 2 builds in this wetlands. I do not want that. I can prevent all the builds on land 3. And I have to destroy this town. So it's 2 away from a sacred site. I might get another city in 1, which is a little gross, but that's fine. It's going to be able to remove that blight with Cleansing Floods was nice. So I'm going to do Shatter Homesteads. 2 away from where I have a sacred site. I generate a fear off the top. Destroy a town, which generates another fear, which gives me another Terror level 2 fear card, which can be nice. So I'm basically 24 fear away from Terror level 3. I still have Darkness Swallows the Unwary. Do I want to gather anything anywhere? So I totally prevented the builds on land 3, which is nice. Do I want to gather and explore? I mean, town city there is not great, but there's really nothing else happening. Yeah, next turn we'll see. I'll be able to generate fear by destroying 2 explorers, but for now I'll just move this guy into land 5. Maybe I can do 2 damage wherever I have a beast, depending on the event. So I only have 1 power left, which is Thundering Destruction, which I can destroy this city or this city in the slow power phase, assuming nothing really crazy happens. So it's Spirit Island. What crazy thing could happen? Let's see. Oh, missionaries arrive. We knew that was the case. So what is happening now? We definitely are not doing that game again. We got very lucky the last time, so that's fine. So we're going to curse the tongues of the foreigners. I'm going to spend 8 energy. I'm going to forget both these powers. It does not change the defend. That's in effect for the rest of the turn. And so I'm going to get rid of all this energy. I'm forgetting both these powers. That's 8. So I forget the major. I forget the minor. Done. We both get to add a blight of disease to a land with a city. So we're gonna add disease to 4 and get a second disease in 1, which is super nice. Forgot about that effect. We generate 4 fear, which is also nice. 2, 3, and 4. There's actually 5 there. And then we're going to, during the next normal ravage, invaders cities do +3 damage, which is fine. Not going to have any effect on the game. All right, each beast destroys 1 explorer. Done and done. And now we go to our fear cards. Terror level 2. What do we got? Terror level 2. Each player adds a strife to a land with Dahan. For the rest of the turn, invaders have -1 health per strife to a minimum of 1. Interesting. It's going to be important to protect this a bit. So I'm going to add, so I get 2 strife. It has -1 health. It's not going to really matter. I don't have any damage doing powers right now. So yeah, I'm going to add a strife in land number 2. I'm going to strife this city in land number 1. I think that will do. Great. So invaders have -1 health to a minimum of 1, which just gets them back to their normal amounts of health. And then immigration slows. Skip the next normal build. The build card remains in place instead of shifting left. Yowza. That's awesome this turn. That's going to be really bad next turn. All right, so we will figure that out when we get there. Now, what are we doing? We are doing the stupid build. So, stupid build, we're building in wetlands. Does not build in land 3. Disease comes off of land 1. Building in land 5 does not, and disease comes off of land 2. Ravaging. We get a blight in land 3. Defended in land 6, nothing to ravage in the other 2 jungles. We're skipping the next build. It stays in place instead of shifting, and then we get the Explorer card, Coastal Lands, so we don't have to worry about the escalation. We have to get Explorers. We get 1 and 1, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, and then on the other board, 1 and 1, 1 and 2, 1 and 3. Invader cards advance. So again, the ravage thing didn't make a difference because no city is ravaged. This goes here, and I already put the coastal land underneath the wetlands card. So we can see how the wetlands could become an utter mess if we don't get on top of what's going on here, right? So that's pretty bad. The disease there will help. Make no mistake about that. But it's still, and yeah, so we have disease there. No more disease on this coast. But we're going to really want to get cracking because you think about it this way. We know that the stage 2 card, we know it has the escalation. So we're looking at 3 builds in land number 1 that I don't even have a clue how we're going to do anything about. How about that for analysis, kids? I have no idea what we're doing with that. Great. So I can still destroy a city. You know what? When I added that strife, nothing I saw changed anything after that. I still in the coastal is coming up. I'm going to add that strife to a land with Dahan. I'm going to add it to this. Instead of add the city, because I know I still knew I had Thunder and Destruction. It makes a lot more sense to add the strife to the land 1. There's no strategic advantage in adding to that city if I know I'm going to destroy it. I don't know why I would destroy this city first. It seems counterproductive since I know coastal lands is still in the deck. So now with Thunder and Destruction, I'm going to destroy this city, and that generates 2 fear. Right? Because even then, I didn't know we were skipping the second build here. I thought there'd be more cities and stuff like that. So we're going to destroy that city and call it a day. Oh, well, I guess... Right, never mind. I'll destroy this city instead. And the reason is, if I thought there was going to be another build, because I didn't think we were skipping the build, then there would have been another city there to destroy, so that would have affected my decision making. So for the sake of all this being in the up and up, let's destroy the city in 4, and now it gives me more of a focus. I have Dahan there too, so that could actually work out to my benefit. We only have 1 city left on the board, and we're literally 18 fear away from a Terra level 3 victory here. All right, so time passes. I'm going to put all this stuff here. This goes into the discard. This goes into the discard. Remember the 1 card I have left. So again, knowing Missionaries Arrive was coming up was somewhat helpful. Clearly reclaiming cards. Well, we'll do this in the order I've been doing it. We're going to try to get... Man, if I can get the 4 power cards here, that's not the worst idea I've ever had. I think I gain energy. And then when I reclaim cards, I'll gain a major again. Great, so I'm going to add a presence. It's not great, but I'll have to do. So I'm going to add a presence. I'm going to add a presence, 3 away. I'm going to add a presence. Well, if I get everything out of there, we can potentially prevent all the builds in land 2. So let me add a presence in 2. And I'm going to play Mantle of Dread. I'm going to play Favors Called Due, and I'm going to play Crops Wither and Fade. I don't think there's any point to saying Dahan don't take damage this turn. Yeah, there's no Ravage. Fine. Those are my 3 cards. That does give me the 2nd level of Darkness Swallows the Unwary. I get 3 energy from the Presence track, and from the growth option, and then 3 energy from the Presence track. Alright. Lightning. Reclaiming cards. We get to gain an energy from the growth option, 2 energy from the Presence track, gaining a power card. I think I stick with miners. Yeah, I mean, I'm barely scraping the surface here with energy. So we're going to get Gift of Twin Days, not that useful with lightning. Sky's Herald, the Season of Return, not that useful with lightning. Uncanny Melting, and Swarming Wasps. There we go. I will take those elements and the fact that it costs 0 energy. Awesome. So, what are we doing? We have that disease there, which is nice. I mean, I know we're 18. Oh, we're more than that. Math. We're 26 fear away. Yikes, that changes some of my analysis here. Disease. So the question is, can I get myself in a place where I can get 2 strong turns? Because then, again, I just reclaimed last turn, right? So I reclaimed again this turn. If I can play 4 cards this turn and leave myself 2 really strong cards and get more presence off, get out the 5 card plays, potentially destroy like 2 things on the turn, which is pretty big. We only have 1 more level 2 card, so this is the last time we're dealing with the escalation, which is nice. But obviously we've got some issues here. Yeah, I think it makes sense to kill a bunch of towns this turn. If I did 3 card plays, 3 card plays could work. 3 and 3. I don't hate that. I only have 5 energy, so I'm not playing the wound. I could do that. Nope, I can't. Because again, I want to make sure I'm at least destroying a town every round. So I have to split up the Treacherous Waterways and the Wounded Wild turns on its assailants. Not sure Treacherous Waterways is all that useful this turn. Again, my presence is still really limited. That's a problem. I can push him. That's fine. Treacherous Waterways winner. Winner, chicken dinner. There will never be a time that'll be more useful than right the frick now. Swarming Wasps. Alright, Lightning's Boon for sure. And then let me play Shatter Homesteads. Destroy a bunch of these towns that have kind of crept up around here. Definitely want to try to prevent as many cities as possible. Alright, so this is 3 energy. and I have Thundering Destruction, and I can play everything fast because Lightning's Boon is already fast. So Lightning's Boon, oh, so is Treacherous Waterways. So Treacherous Waterways, I'm going to target a land 1 away from my presence. It has to be a wetland. I'm going to just push and explore. No problem. So again, no builds in land 3 once again. I play Lightning's Boon, so I'm going to give Shadows 2 powers, or 2 powers that he can do fast now. Shadows is going to generate 2 fear card, and he's going to push an explorer in a town from one of his lands. That's why I put the presence there. Let me push these 2 into land 4. Again, it already has a blight on there. It's fine. But I think that will work. We're going to... do I want to push it into... Oh, you know what? If I push it into 5, I can potentially prevent any builds in 1, which is really nice. I'm sorry, if I push it into 3, I can potentially prevent any builds in 1. Sure. It is going to build in 3, which would be a city. I can kind of live with that. Oh, it's going to build a... Yeah, it's going to build a city there. I mean, well, it'd have 2. It'd have 2... 1, no, never mind. 1's already adjacent to 2 towns, so it's definitely building a town there anyway. So I'm going to push this into 4. I already took the fear. I only have 1 more that I can do fast. Nothing's ravaging. I'm going to do crops wither and fade, generate 2 fear, and turn this town into an explorer so it doesn't build a city there. I can deal with a town for sure. This would be town, city, and then the escalation. It'd be town, city. No, it'd be city, town, city. Oh, that's bad. Alright, let me prevent that. I'm just going to use Thundering Destruction. I'm going to keep Shatter Homesteads. I'll probably destroy a town there. City, town, yeah. I'm going to use Thundering Destruction and destroy the town in land 3. That's a fear. So I still have Shatter Homesteads. I still have favorites called Dew. Darkness Swallows and Wary. I'm going to gather an Explorer. Not preventing any builds anywhere. Just not meant to be. So I'm going to gather an Explorer into a land 1 away from a sacred site. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to gather an Explorer from 3 into 4. And then I can destroy up to 2 explorers. I'm going to do that. I get 2 fear, 1 for each explorer destroyed. So making a little bit of headway. Still have 19 fear before terror level 3, and that's obviously my target right now. We go to the event phase. Now this is where I get a multi-handed game where my brain is like, oh. I'm like, man, I've been done like an hour ago. It's true solo. But I digress. Event card. So, stage 2, Mapmaker's Chart, the Wild. Ignore wilds during the Explorer step. On each board without wild, Explorer actions add 1 Explorer. I have no wilds, so I guess that's going to happen. Fine. We're going to go... This can come off. Alright. Prey on the Heedless Niche land with Beast. 1 damage per beast. Dead. Good. And on each board, added the Han to a land with the Han with no Badlands, Wild, Disease, or Beast. So, Coming of Age. So I have to add this guy. So I can add it to a land with Blight, which is interesting. I'll add it in 5. It's max flexibility. And I'll add it in... there's a Beast there. I'll have to add it in 2, which is fine. Alright, so we're going to get our Fear card, Terror level 2. Oh, this could go away. Terror level 2. Towns and cities each deal mates 1 damage during Ravage. Invaders don't heal at the end of the turn. Well, none of that matters. So I'm not even going to put a reminder token. Alright, building. Ah, shoot. Seeing that... again, I got no new information. There's no way I want that to build. There's just no way. So I am going to do because I can't, I'm trying to avoid all cities. So I'm going to do a fear, another fear, and this is dead. And I had fast, I had the air to do that fast and that fast. So I already generated the fear. That's fine. Sorry about that. Yeah, just kind of looking around, like, yeah, strategically, there's no way you let that build happen. Getting another city on the board makes 0 sense at this point in the game. Now, what are we doing? Build. So it would build in land number 2. Disease comes off. It's going to build in land 6. It's going to build a town in land 3. No build in land 8. Ravage. There's no cards to ravage. Now the building, we do it in the order that we saw these cards. So wetlands builds first. Disease comes off land 1. No building in land 3, which is really nice. We're going to get a town in land 2 and a town in land 5. Now we do the coastal land card. Building in land 1, so we get a city. Building in land. Now you do, again, you check before the step. So there was definitely no adjacency to 2 towns in land 3, so we still don't have to build in land 3. We do build a town in land 2. And then we're going to build a town in land 1, a city in land 2, and a city in land 3. Yikes. It's like we had it, kind of. I have 1 card left. Get a major. All right, that's fine. And now, what are we doing? Explore step. We know it's going to have the escalation, which is going to make this even more fun. It's mountains. We're going to get a town in land 1. And I can add a town to land. I do that 3. All right, I'm going to add a town, so I can add it to 4. I'm sorry, I'm not adding a town. I'm doing a build action. So I can, they all have 2. This has disease. I can choose this. They all have 2. I'm going to choose land 4 since that has 2 towns. That was another benefit of pushing that there. And I'm going to do a build action land 4. Up, disease comes off. We're good. That's way better. All right. And now we explore. So since there's no wilds anywhere on the board, we actually put 2 explorers in land 5, 2 explorers in land 8, 2 explorers in land 6, and 2 explorers in land 1. All right, done. Invader cards advance. We have lots of ravaging. None of it's good. We only have 5 blight to play with. I don't see how this works. Okay. Well, Blight Cascade there is pretty bad. That we clearly need to deal with. Alright. If I gather 4 in there, it's still ravaging 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 damage. It's pretty bad. Question is, can I kill those 4 cities and generate 9 additional fear? Trying to set this up that I win on the ravage. I don't see another way. So if I push 2 Han in there, say they don't take penalties, those 2 cities are destroyed. I can destroy this city. Question is, how do I destroy that city? Alright, favors call due. I'm going to gather 4 Dahan into land 3. So we don't have a stupid build next turn, which is interesting. So there are 4 Dahan, 3 invaders, so I generate 3 fear. So I basically need to destroy those 4 cities and generate 6 more fear. Alright. time passes, these 3 cards are discarded. These 3 cards are discarded. Nothing has to heal. So then I'm going to reclaim cards and gain a power card, and I'm getting another energy. Or no, three more energy from the presence track. Can't do these fast. Man, I might be reclaiming cards. I might want to do this fast with lightning. What I'm hedging right now is I want to get a major just to see what I get. And it will ravage and coast. It will ravage in wetlands first. Oh, shoot. If it ravages there, that's 3, 4, 5 blight I lose. Well, I could push those guys. So that'd be 4 blight. And then I would defend. Yikes. Who said there'd be math? I'm still debating the major or the minor. I think being able to turn. I'm not sure. So there's 4 cities. I'm going to wipe out those 2 in the ravage. There. And it's only going to be 1 blight, which is nice. I can wipe out this one with the Wounded Wild turns on its assailants if I put blight where it needs to go. I'd have to clear that out. This would die when the Dahan fight back, maybe? I'm not going to be able to do these fast. That's the problem. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do these fast. Alright, let me get a major. Hopefully it's something that does some fast. Out of our Curse of Dread and Bone, it has a moon symbol. Ooh, defend 5 in any land. With 5 Dahan. Oh, interesting. So move 5 land Dahan from target land to any land, defend 5 in that land. Don't hate that. Only costs 3. Oh, so interesting. You get them with any land. The Land Thresh and Furious Pain, that is a slow power. Power Storm, target sphere against 3 energy. Once a turn, target sphere may repeat a power card by paying its cost again. That'd be great for me. So turning. There's no beast to gather into there. Oh, I can add a beast. Oh, I can add a beast here. Oh, that's so sick. I think that's the winner. So the real question is, will I have enough fear generation? It's going to be really close. It's going to be really close. Oh, do I reclaim cards? I'm all about do I reclaim cards with lightning here to try to make this thing work. I have to win during the ravage step. If I can make this fast, I can do 5 damage here. Pretty much wipe that out. Alright, I'm taking the Land Thrashes and Fury's Pain. It changes my growth with lightning here. Wish I had like a reclaim 1 just to get the 2 power cards back. It feels a little cheap. Maybe overthinking this though. Maybe I can just get this. I do the defend 5. That all wipes out. I wipe everything there out. Yeah, I'm just gonna take Rapid Wings of Sunlight. I have to forget something. I'm gonna forget. I don't get the 2 fear from that, which concerns me, but I'm gonna forget Favors Called Due. Done. There's my 3 cards. I do have this, but it's pointless. So that, and I'm gonna make change. And that. So I can target any I can target any land. I'm going to spend 1. I'm going to target land 3, right? Because again, range 0, I can make the range anywhere. I'm going to target land 3. It has Dahan, so I'm going to do Shadows of the Dahan. I'm going to move up to 5 Dahan from there to any land. They're going to keep them right where they are. I'm going to defend 5 there to only attacking 6. So this is, well, you know what? I'm going to move to any land. I'm going to defend 5 and land 2. That makes more sense. Does it? Yes. Yeah, we might be able to just avoid some things altogether here. And it's only ravaging 5, so if anything bad happens, we're totally good. Alright, that's fine. I still needed to spend the energy to target land 3 that had the Dahan. So they get the extra energy because the Shadows of the Dahan still came in pretty huge. All right, and that's $1 there. My turn over here, I'm going to put a sacred site into land 4, because why not? I'm going to get 3 energy. I'm going to play, oh, that city was on a strife. I'm going to get 4 energy on that. I have 2 air, so I can do 2 slow powers fast. It does mean I'm not going to be able to do Thundering Destruction, which is a little unfortunate. So I'm going to add a beast to a land without blight. I'm going to add a beast into land 8. And then I'm going to do the wounded turns on its assailants. I'm going to target land number 3. I get to add two Badlands, gather up to 2 beasts, and then I'm going to do 1 damage per beast, beast and blight, and then plus 2 damage because of 2 Badlands. That destroys the city. That generates 2 fear. Now, the other slow power I'm going to do fast is, seeing Soaring Wasp was fast already, so the other slow power I'm going to do fast because I only have 1 more sky, so that means, again, air, which means I can't do Thundering Destruction as a fast power, is Harbingers of the Lightning. I'm going to push up to 2 Dahan, 1 away from my air presence, and I get a fear because I pushed into a land with cities and towns. Cool. I'm going to play Concealing Shadows. I'm going to spend an energy to make it target a land with Dahan, and I generate a fear off the top. And then the Dahan in land 1 are going to take no damage. And again, I'm defending 5 in land 2. So my problem here is I'm 10 fear away. My Dahan are probably only going to... I'm only going to get 6 fear from the Dahan. Somehow I'm going to need to come up with... yeah, I'm not somehow I'm going to need to come up with 4 more fear. Three more fear. So can we get 3 more fear between the event card and the 2 fear card? One fear card I'm going to have. That is going to be the question. Strife. Yeah, those 4 Dahan are just going to wipe out 2 of those suckers. That is what it is. Alright. Let's see what happens. Event card. Bam. Stage 3. Again, we go to the top there. Extensive building. On each board, building a land with invaders not matching a build card. Oh, that's really bad. That's really bad. So again, it's Dahan take no damage from invaders. Revenue invaders just turn. So I think I put it in land 1, and we'll just have to get that in the second time around, because again, it's going to ravage twice in land 1, and this doesn't ravage a build card. It gets us up to 6, but we're still good. And I'm going to build in land 7, so that it built in land 1 and board D, because I could not build anywhere else Because again, this 8 matches a build card anywhere else would put a city on the board, and that's not happening. So I'm going to also build in land 7 on board 5. That is adjacent to 2 towns or cities, so that still counts. In lands with... Oh, you're absolutely kidding me. In lands with disease or strife, invaders skip ravage actions, so it's now not ravaging in land 1. Well... Really? Oh, man. I need that. I literally need the strife to go away. I have 1 fear card. Okay. Instead of losing cards too far, in each board choose a land with towns and Dahan. Push 1 town per 2 Dahan there. Sure. So I'm going to push 2 towns from land 1 into land 7. And I'm going to push 1 town from land 2 into land 4. It just doesn't matter. Okay. Right, fear card. Dahan attack. Terror level 2 still. Each player chooses a different land with Dahan. 1 damage per Dahan there. Okay, so I'm going to do... so I have 4 health. Oh, I get rid of the strife. Yeah. So I'm going to get rid of the strife, so now the ravage action is going to happen, which is necessary. So that's that town, that city destroyed. That's 2 fear. That's a fear card. Oh, I get to resolve that now too, which is awesome. And then I'm going to... I mean, this is defended 5. It's like a waste. I mean, there's nowhere else. It has to be a different land. 1 damage per Dahan. I will do 1 damage to this town in case I get to do some damage with that beast. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. That city is dead anyway. So I can get through 8 more fear. This is 4. This is 5, 6. So somehow I'm going to need 2 more fear. What do we got? Each player removes up to 3 health from invaders from a land with disease. I have no disease. Again, flee from the pest on land, or 1 explorer from an inland land. Explorer gone, explorer gone. I'm going to be 1 fear away. I didn't have a Dahan. I had no Dahan. Yeah, I had no Dahan in lands with the Badlands. That's 2 fear, 2 fear, 2 fear, 1 fear. Wait, that was stupid. I'm going to push this guy back because that's going to die. I knew that guy's going to die. I'm defended 5. I pushed 2 from there, which that was also stupid because they're not going to take any damage. So let's go back to the event. On each board, choose a land with towns and Dahan. Fine, this has towns and Dahan. Push 1 per 2. I don't have 2. Push 1 per 2. I don't have 2. So I'm just basically choosing lands that only have 1 Dahan and 1 town, and not pushing anything. There's no reason to push those. All right, I knew I needed fear, so you can put an asterisk on this, but this is going to work out. So now we go to the ravage steps, and then I got lucky with this event card. I was doing 1 damage per Dahan. I was able to kill this city. Cool. Now we do the ravage steps. I'm doing ravage in land 1. By ravaging in land 1 on this board, I add a blight. The Dahan retaliate. They destroy both those cities. All right, there's 8 health worth of invaders because I have 4 Dahan there. They took no damage because of concealing shadows. That generates 4 fear. All right, now over here, we're going to ravage in land 5. That's a blight. That kills a presence. Kills a Dahan. All right, nothing to ravage in 3. We're ravaging in 2. I'm defended 5. They're ravaging 5. The defend comes off. Dahan retaliate destroys these 3. This city, this town. That's 3 fear. So we're 1 fear away. Now that card's done. Now we do the ravage for the coastal lands. We can choose where we want to ravage. I'm going to ravage in land 1. That's going to blight and cascade. And then what do you know? The Dahan don't take any damage. They retaliate. They wipe out everything here. No, my bad. These have 3 health each. They're only wiping out. They're only wiping out 2 of them. They're gonna wipe out this explorer. Badly injure this town. That's 2 fear. So we carry out the rest of the step. And that's 1 fear, 1 down, terror level 3. There are no cities on the board. Game immediately ends and we pulled it off. What? That dude, I'm sure I'm gonna go back and see a bunch of mistakes. And you saw like I try to be really honest with them. I'm like, hey, let me rethink that. Was there any reason why I would have done that? No, that's stupid. Let me rethink it. Let me redo that. Right? There was no reason why I would have moved those towns. Moving that town was stupid. I was defended. Moving those 2 towns was stupid. I was defended. There was definitely a time earlier. Then remember, I kind of rethought it. Then I was like, you know what? Actually, there would have been a reason for me to do what I did. Let me leave what I did, and we'll kind of live with it. That's fun for me. I think that makes the most sense. I mean, these games, especially when I'm recording. I mean, there's like so many things I'm kind of thinking about, and I trying to push the action forward a little bit. But that is it. That is Shadows and Lightning for the win. Yeah, let's not do the rest of the ravaging because thank you, Mr. Royce, for our special extra blight because man, did I need every single blight that I got in that playthrough. Yeah, we have 1 left on the board. I'll tell you what, though, I will take that Blight Island card with a 3 blight per player any day of the week over some of the others. And I'm glad I didn't get tipping point because I would have definitely lost immediately. Something went wrong. My planning was I probably could have planned better. I wonder if I reclaimed cards, gave fast powers there. I think kind of sticking with what I did, this probably wasn't the most effective card for me. If I had 4 card plays, I could have definitely destroyed a city as a fast power. I could have given 2 fast powers to Shadows. I do wonder, what I could have pulled up. But I would have had enough money, I think. What did I get? I put 2 energy in it. Well, I needed to get a presence on the board. That was my problem. Because I needed to get a presence close to do that. And I didn't, yeah. I think that made the most sense. Especially if you're doing growth simultaneously. It would have been a little weird to change my path based on what I knew I picked up with Shadows here. So that's cool. That was a cool England, man. They just build freaking everywhere. But did I even take that last year? I did. Yeah, this is it. What was it? Look at that. Every Badlands, Beast, Disease, Wilds, and Strife grants defend 3. But I mean, what a gross card. Stricken. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I had 1 Strife on that building, which was going to serve no purpose. I mean, to be able to do 1 damage per Dahan and have exactly 4, that is super sick. Because that would have been the worst. That would have been the worst. I'm really happy with this playthrough. I'm curious to edit that up. But that's it. That is 2-handed Spirit Island. God bless you guys that do this stuff 3, 4, 5, 6-handed. I do not have the that's not for me, man. I admire the brilliance. I admire the brain power. I admire what's the word? It's like a distance runner. I don't, not explosiveness. The other one, the opposite of that. I was a trainer. I should know this. The perseverance. I admire the mental fortitude to kind of stick through many hours of a game and to see the interconnected relationship of it all. Definitely had some events early that kind of put me in an interesting spot with presence for lightning, but just kind of had a reason through. I lost Thunder and Destruction 1 round. But you could see, I mean, again, these low complexity spirits, it's just hard to get to those higher levels of the innates and enough. I mean, you don't have any help with the elements from the presence track, right? You're just kind of hoping to get up there. But yeah, I didn't get to level 3 of Darkness Wells wary. I didn't even get to level 3 of Thundering Destruction, right? And it's a really nice place to get. But this is where if you're playing with like Spread of Rampant Green, this is why Spread of Rampant Green is like everyone's favorite, support spirit. As much as I'm like, dude, it's super strong true solo too, but it's really nice when you're playing with green and you're like, hey, I want to destroy a city and then another town or city and then, oh yes, one more town or city, please, thank you. It's just really gross. Oh, and I can do that fast because I have at least one air, right? Pretty nuts. Yeah, the major powers could have been better. I'm not gonna lie there. I mean, they did the trick, barely. Just getting up to 4 damage was fine. That defend 5 was massive. Obviously needed to prevent the blight and cascade in land 2. As it is, we only had 1 blight left on our card. The fact that we were able to skip the build, but then we're looking at the double ravage, somehow being able to keep land 3 clear was just kind of ridiculous, and pretty happy about that. Oh yeah, it didn't, right. I'm trying to think, how did they not build the coastal lands? Right, but it didn't build because there was nothing there, and then the town went in the coastal lands card, and the coastal lands card built. I'm delirious, can you tell? That is that. Feedback, I would love. Likes, comments are always appreciated. If I messed up a rule, I actually really appreciate when you guys point it out, because it makes me more aware of mistakes I am prone to make in my play, and it helps me improve the quality of my playthroughs going forward. This is it. This is the two-handed playthrough. Maybe we'll be back with another one at some point, but I'm pretty happy with this. I'm pretty happy with this 1-for-1 on the channel, despite my 0 for 9. I was getting ready for this, right? And just trying to. It's a different game. It's a different game when you're playing with 2 spirits, and learning how I wanted to, get to a more optimal opening strategy for lightning when I could lean on another spirit was really important. And then learning how to, again, a optimal strategy with shadows. I was a little surprised. I kind of felt like shadows clicked for me multi-handed a little bit quicker than lightning did. It took a couple more games to be like, all right, well, if I'm playing the 1 card strategy the first turn, I get 3 cards, and it was like, what's that pattern, right? It's like, all right, 1 card, 3 cards, 3 cards, then 4, or like what? But then that 1 card that actually, I mean, again, I used every bit of energy I had, right? I needed that energy, so having that 1 card where it's like discarding slow powers to get the what they cost +1 was like, you know what, I can make everything fast anyway. Why am I stressing this? Let me just discard that. Took me a little bit, but just kind of a cool playthrough, kind of see all the possibilities of playing with any spirit, with any other spirit. It's gonna be a different game, and I think that's maybe one of the reasons I like True Solo so much. It kind of keeps Spirit Island in this place where it's just a little bit less overwhelming, and you're just like, man, I love this spirit, let me play as this spirit. Oh, and I love this spirit, let me play as this spirit. But when you're doing these infinite combinations, that's what co-op's for me, right? When I don't have to think it through, and I could just see my friend bring another spirit to life in a way I hadn't seen before. I love that, right? I don't want to be the one to have to do the mental energy to figure that out every time, because I'm gonna miss it more times than I care to know or admit or any of that. But I am blathering and blabbering and all of the above. This was fun. You guys are awesome. Likes, comments, all that is great. Patreon page, go there. You can check out and see what my upcoming schedule is. At the beginning of every month, I do put a schedule so you can see what's coming down the pipe. But that's all from me. Until next time, thanks again for joining me, and happy gaming.